Hey guys, my name is Patrick and you're watching Patrick Programs. Please like and subscribe because it'll help me, and you should help me because I would help you. Thank you. So this video is titled How to Get Through a Computer Science Program, and it's for anybody who's interested in going into a computer science program or anybody who's already early in a computer science or anybody who's in a computer science program. So in this video, I'm gonna go over 5 things I think you should do to get through a computer science program. The first thing I'm suggesting is to go to class and pay attention, to take notes, and to ask questions. So the reason you should go to class and pay attention is because, obviously if you go, you'll be better off than if you didn't. It's better to go to class and learn in class because that's an hour and 20 minutes that you're gonna have to use anyway to study the material. And I think it's better to learn it from a master, which is the professor, than to go and kind of try to learn it on your own, because then you might end up falling into some trouble. And sometimes the professor will sneak in some hints about, testings and, things you should know, and, simple things that only the god of the class would know, which is the professor. So, it's a good idea to go to class. Asking questions is important because, if you have a question, that means you don't know the answer. And if you get the answer, then you'll be better off than if you just never asked a question and didn't get the answer. So I'm the guy in class who's always asking questions because I always have them. And some people are insecure about asking questions because, they feel like they're stupid or something for asking, or they feel like people are gonna think they're stupid. But, I know I'm stupid, so I don't really care, because in the end, I end up knowing something that I didn't know before, and I'm okay with not seeming like the smartest dude in the class. As far as taking notes goes, you can or cannot do it. For me, it's helpful, but it's not helpful for everybody. Some people would rather pay attention, throughout the whole class. And if you have a PowerPoint slide that the professor gives you, then I guess you could use that, but I suggest taking notes because there are some things the professor says that's not in the slides, and it might help you in the long run. The second thing is to make friends with your classmates because, they're going through the same stuff that you're going through, so it's better to, suffer with other people than to suffer by yourself. Okay, that sounds bad. They're already suffering, it's better to share suffering than to go through it by yourself. I'm not saying to inflict suffering onto other people, that's evil. But, it's good to have people to share these things with. And who better than the people who are going through the same thing that you're going through? You can also ask your classmates questions about homework stuff and questions about classwork stuff and, exam stuff and, I say a lot. You could also ask your classmates about homework questions and class questions and test questions, and form study groups and things like that, Obviously, don't cheat. Don't do things that are gonna, make you fail the class or get kicked out of school. But as long, but you're allowed to discuss certain things. So I recommend doing that. And being friends with people, in CompSci, you're gonna have to work on projects together. And knowing certain people and their work ethic and their programming skills, you're more likely to find, people who are good to work on projects with. So instead of being randomly put into a group, because that's gonna suck. You'll likely bump into people who were not making friends or cannot make friends, and they'll let you down because it happens like that sometimes. The third thing is to start your assignments early. So me personally, I didn't really do that all the time, except for when I was going against God classes, classes where if you don't start early, you're gonna fail. Really hard, intensive classes, you have to start the work early. But for anybody who's really trying to, go above and beyond, I suggest for pretty much any assignment, starting early, because computer science is hard. And part of the reason it's hard is because the material is hard and they give you a bunch of work to do. So if you start early, then whenever you come across a problem, you have time to figure it out, and you can ask questions. So it's really important to start early. You'll also be getting a bunch of hard assignments from just more than one class at a time. So if you partition your time good, you'll be able to do well in all of your classes. and not fail anything. Thing is to not put too much on your plate. So while I was in school, I took like 4 classes a semester, which is 12 credits. And I did that because, you know, in comp sci, there's a lot of work to do in each class. And if you're taking 5 or more classes, then, you know, for some people, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I am some people. And I've seen people who took 21 credits of comp sci classes. They did everything. And those gods are gods, you know. And I'm not like that. I cannot do that. I think it's a good idea to consider taking 4 classes instead of 5 and take your time, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and then get super stressed out and then, you know, end up quitting or something like that. And I know a bunch of other people who were taking 4 classes instead of 5. I mean, most people I know were doing 4 classes instead of 5 because it's just really intensive. Also, consider your course combination. Like, don't take 4 God classes at the same time, because that is really setting yourself up for failure. And I know some people who ended up doing that, and some of them got away with it. Some of them were humbled, and others just got kicked out of the program. Like, you know, they failed because they tried to do the impossible. And you don't have to do the impossible, you know, take your time. If it takes you 5 years to graduate, it's okay. If you do everything properly, you'll still end up getting a really great job, and you'll be just fine. And literally, don't put too much on your plate, because, you know, if you go and you eat a bunch of food, it's gonna make you tired. If you go to the cafeteria and you get burgers, fries, hot dogs, pizza, and you eat it, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna get tired, you're gonna go to sleep when you're supposed to study for your test, and you're gonna fail. You're gonna have to retake the class. And then when you retake the class, well, it's gonna suck. And the last thing is to believe in yourself and never give up. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I thought I was like gonna fail out or something. And the only reason that I didn't is because I never gave up. I just never gave up. I kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And, you know, eventually I got what I needed. I'm not the best student, and I've never been the best student. I mean, I've never even been top, I don't even know, 50. But I'm persistent, you know. I keep trying until I succeed. So even, like, computer science is really hard. Like, it's just really hard. So even if things are looking bad and you feel like you're gonna fail, just remember that me here, like, if I can do it, then anybody can do it. Like, really and truly. Like, if you're just at least average intelligence, like, I'm not very smart, like, at all. But, you know, I'm persistent. Yeah, so the key is to never give up, because, I mean, especially if you're like halfway through and, like, you know, you're making excuses, dude, just get through it. Like, you might as well. You're already halfway through. If you're in the beginning, you might want to consider giving up. I don't know, it's up to you. I didn't give up. Remember that this is coming from somebody who struggled, like, really hard. Like, you know, but I made it. And I learned a lot of stuff. Anyway, those are my 5 things. I mean, I guess the last thing I could add is, you know, whenever you need help, ask for it, get your help, go to a professor or TA, because that's what they're there for. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Por favor. Thank you.